memorize these by now, but I haven't. There's a fascination in just exploring through an aspect of nature, and that's what I always enjoyed about science. I loved science as a kid. This is kind of where art and science meet for me. The kind of science where you're understanding the nature of how things were created. I consider myself a musician, but I don't consider myself a typical musician for sure. Oh, great! This one's been sitting in there too long too. Well, I was always fascinated as a kid because I liked electronics, and I kind of understood what was going on there, that you could tap into a whole new aspect of nature to create new instruments, and that was a fascinating aspect to me. The Moog synthesizer came out, and I began to hear stuff about that, and I'm like, wow, that would be neat to have, but the stuff was so expensive, This is one of my favorite keyboards of all time, and it's been sitting there too long. It got a little dusty. It weighs a lot. My main money comes from just fixing stuff for people, and some things wind up with a really obscure problem line. People just go, well, I give up, and so it winds up here. Yeah, I have a pretty high percentage of finding things that have weird problems, it seems like. So I just had that gear back then pretty much. I really started collecting stuff more in the early 2000s when eBay came around, and so picked up some of these units and started fixing them up, got good deals on some broken things. And so yeah, just began to collect this group of stuff that turned into all this, yeah. I could do a lot better job probably shelving things and whatever, and I kind of, came in here with a limited amount of time at the time and did what I could to get things organized in this way or that, and then once you get it that way, it's like you remember things are there, so you don't want to move them. Yeah, we're keeping a maintained museum of keyboards. Just a couple things went down here recently I need to fix up, but this is one of my favorite pieces, and so hopefully this will get all better. Wonderful if we get that done, because I think if we get them all tuned here and all the keys working, this will be a perfect synth within what it was built to be. What we discovered in the electronic world is that things move by the same mathematical principles that govern things in the mechanical world. The way they did it in the Minimoog, the circuitry had enough imperfection to where there was an audible shift, it's been discovered, of the sound. It's just a very subtle thing the ear picks up, that there's something live happening there, Sometimes I'll hear a sound and it just inspires some train of thought. The fabric of the sound itself, translates to a sensation of where something should go. The whole beauty of a synthesizer is you can tap into a lot of the aspects and continuously change them, and you can incorporate that into your performance. You can create a expressional content to what you're playing by changing certain parameters at particular times in the music. And I do, I enjoy, it's like I say, exploring what's going on in them and understanding the way they were made and why they were made that way. Everything in the world, I think, is worth what it is, for the spiritual gain of somebody. If there's nothing spiritual happening, if there's only this stale physical, and there's, you can say it's not stale, there's a lot of complexity. Well, complexity can make some very beautiful things, but without a spiritual element, even the things I'm saying right now go back to this neuron hit that neuron, and this photon came in and zapped that and made it do this, and everything is basically out of my control. And that's why it's so awesome to as we interact with the physical element, to realize that there's something beyond that even, and that causes us to be a volatile element within the physical realm, that causes us to be something that isn't just a result. Yeah, that's a lovely sound. All right, well, shall we pull another one out here?